And yeah, it's like painting, you know. You'll see. We have thousands and thousands of 3D audio everywhere there.
Yeah, and we are lucky to have somebody as patient as Manu to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It was time consuming, you know, but on the other hand, we have the freedom, artistic freedom to create like different kind of stuff, different insects, different birds, different kinds of trees or winds. So it was pretty cool. It was super cool to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so contrasting with other games that are more like bloody and gory and stuff. So this was like totally another focus. It was very cool to do.
There is something that Nico said a long time ago, that we were looking for silence without silence. So it was pretty important to find a good balance of that. We have everywhere we have sounds, but they are not annoying. The music is just perfect. So you know, I have doing games like really violence games, if you want, if you will. So start work in season was like change my mind. Like, okay, I need to change all my mindset to work in this game because it should be all balanced, quiet, but with no silence.
Right. Yeah. And I'm guessing that process of implementation was also kind of meditative, right? You could kind of just soak in the ambiences and, get everything sounding the way you like and then just, move on.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. But again, it was in my mind, you can achieve that state when you're authoring if you've got your tools, processes, and pipeline in place. Like if you're not fighting against your workflow, then you can enjoy that process. And it does sound like you're able to achieve that.
All right. Well, here I am. This lawn is my whole life. We can do this. Just need to decide.
Yeah, and Wise was super important for this. Because obviously this could lead to a lot of performance issues, like this kind of approach.
Yeah.
So, being able to really work on the priorities and voice stacking, really controlling the number of voices that we wanted to have at the same time. Like all the optimization part that came with this was also a lot of work. But I think we, with Wise, we had the tools to do it well, and it works.
You can't buy tools like these. He made them. It's chaos. It's life. It's constantly changing. They might be incredibly valuable to a scientist on the other side of the world. There's even more of them, bigger ones, out at his work shed.
Yeah, and so you had other concerns, gameplay-wise, that would come up on occasion when it came to the more narrative aspects. But you didn't have to worry about a firefight breaking out and crushing your voice limits, So you had the luxury to tune that for, performance without the worry about it being destroyed at a moment's notice by gameplay.
That's right.
Yeah. It's good. Nice luxury.
A face worn with the strain of creation. She is compelled to create, like how I feel compelled to document this season.
Yeah. Personally, I had been working at Vibe, doing like a lot of combat game. I had been working for years in D&D, Dark Alliance, and it's a game of combat which every sound is like almost iconic, powerful, violent, a lot of sub, you know. We want noise, we want the impact, you know. So then I came to season, and my mind like, what we do it, what we're gonna do with this. And the first thought it was we need to do something contemplative. We need to do something like melancholic. We need to create an ambience where we can feel nostalgic, you know. And at the same time, personally, I was having a hard time with in my family. In my family, for disease, memory disease, if I said. So it touched me a lot. This game about the mother. You know, my wife cannot play this game for more than 15 minutes. She cannot. She is not able to play it because for her it's like too deep. Because we talk about memory and everything.
What an odd feeling. Like an absence, disappearing. The empty space fills itself back in until I forget that I forgot anything at all. I'm glad I'm only losing a few memories. If I lost too many, I wouldn't even know who you are.
Just to add there, my wife, I didn't really show her a lot of the project just because it was NDA'd. But one thing, right before this process had happened, her father passed away. And I was working on the music and sound design for like the Field of Memory, if you remember that part where there's a sort of flashback. And she just played it for probably about 2 minutes and just completely started sobbing. And
Oh. I prayed to see you again. I didn't expect it would be in a dream. Life listens and then it does what it wants.
yeah, I became very attached to that map over time. They were trying to cut that whole section of the game, but now it's just like a setting for a flashback. But yeah, there's a lot of the same sort of thing you're talking about, of it being very interconnected to personal experience and memory.
Yes, yes. And there is something that Nico said in the past, and it was a little bit, it was hard to achieve. It's that we need to make silence without silence in this game. And that was just about details, you know, music and sound design. It was like doing poetry at one point, you know, with audio. And create some state of emotion that was super cool. It was super good. Yeah.
Silent writers, have you ever written words on your own home? Poetry on a dead surface?
Matiora is a true artist.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're parents. We do enjoy, you know, like your typical shooter. But yeah, of course, working on this kind of game is really nice. Like, luckily, it's not the only one. For example, we have done a lot of VR games with the Montreal studio called Trebuchet. One of them is called Winds and Leaves, and you basically have to grow trees and forests. So it's a very, very zen-like experience. The music also is pretty hybrid between acoustic instruments and electronics, and very, very interactive as well. And Nicolas also did the music systems for those games. We wrote the music for this one. So we do have, like, luckily, other games that can nurture our more peaceful and creative side. So that's we do love to work on those kinds of games.
Music in the air, I hear it.
And of course, like anything that's more experimental is also very fun, because you can do very cool systems that are out of the box. I think this scratches another itch, because like doing a shooter or something, you take care of a great mix, like it's cathartic and everything, but when it's more of an experience, you're trying to get something else, you get a different emotion from it.
The tourist left that behind. A little kid. Maybe they remember this doll, maybe not. But the life the kid imagined in this piece of fabric, I can still feel it.
And I think it's like the best thing is variety. How do you do this? Working on many different types of games. So yeah, Season has a great part in this.
Wow, yeah. It's a long-time goal of finding a video game that could make you cry, and certainly Season is a contender for that. Absolutely.
You're very right, and this game is really special in its atmosphere and its pace. You don't have a transformer or a kaiju that is going to arrive and bring some huge changes in the mix.
My name is Easel. I used to go to the light posts alone, just to dream about another season. To imagine a life where I wasn't afraid to have hope.
It's very intimate, and of course, in this context, it was super interesting to go into really the little details, because you can, because you can. And then as Manu said, it was really a change of mindset and a change of perspective. It's a very, very special game in this regard. So I think we all loved the experience of, going to tweak all those little details to
make the perfect frog,
Make the perfect frog, make the perfect everything. We could spend time, just fine-tuning things.
I made those frogs with synthesis. Just,
I know.
That's great.
The frogs are fantastic. Great quality AAA frogs.